Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about how to reduce calories strategically. The key word there is strategically. And before I tell you, let's just take one step back and realize that it's not about cutting calories strategically to lose weight. It's about cutting calories strategically so that you can live at your goal weight for the rest of your life. Very big difference there. Because if I was just talking about how to get to your goal weight as fast as possible, the strategy would be how can we cut as many calories as fast as possible? But of course, the faster and more extreme you cut your calories down, the less long that's going to last. You're not going to last long with it. So I want to make crystal clear that I am talking about living at your goal weight for the rest of your life. So we're talking about how to reduce your calories strategically so that you can maintain that calorie reduction. Okay, that being said, the first thing we want to do is recognize that we only have so much willpower. So again, this kind of comes back to go face to face with the diet mentality that you're going to be able to change everything all at once. I don't believe that's possible because you only have so much willpower available to you, and your willpower is like a muscle. And so, yes, you could change absolutely everything for a few days, maybe a few weeks. And then what happens is you deplete that muscle and you fall back into your old behaviors completely. So the strategy here is that we're going to look at this strategically as if, let me give you a different concept. If you're going to learn the piano and you never played piano before, you wouldn't try and learn everything about the piano all at once. You couldn't. It's too overwhelming. So you have to have a strategic plan for what you're going to learn in order. All right. And so it's the same thing with your calorie reduction. So the first thing you got to realize is, again, this is in service of living at your goal weight. This is long term. Do it one time. One time, we're going to figure out how to reduce our calorie consumption to a lower level so we can live at our goal weight for the rest of our lives on your autopilot. That's a longer term goal. And so we've given ourselves more time, and now we can be strategic. So what's the first step to making that happen that would be strategic? Here's what it is. We're not going to change everything all at once. What we're going to do is we're going to continue to eat the same way. You say, how are we going to lose weight, Jim? Well, we're going to lose weight slowly, smartly, in a way that's going to last. And so we're going to eat the same way, except for one thing. And what that thing is you're going to identify your worst eating habit. What's your worst eating habit? Your number one worst eating habit. Is it snacking at night? Is it overeating at dinner? Is it grazing during the day? Is it eating too much at lunch? What is your worst eating habit that is putting the most calories into your body over a week? And so ideally, we're looking for something that shows up every day or multiple times a week. That's where we're starting. And so you're going to leave all of your eating alone, except for that one habit. And you're going to focus on that habit with laser-like precision. So if it's eating at night, you're going to focus on your eating at night habit. You're going to dissect it. You're going to become aware of it. You're going to understand what the triggers are, what the reasons are, what the behavior is, how long it's been there, why it's happening, things you've tried that haven't worked, things you've tried that may have worked, things you could do with it that may work better. You're going to get obsessed with this habit. And it may take you a couple weeks. It may take you a couple months. May take you a year or two. I don't know. You don't know. But if you focus on this habit with all of your energy and attention, and you focus on a way to transform it so that you take the bad habit and turn into a habit that is either neutral or good, and with an eye that that new habit is going to run on autopilot. That's the strategy here, is that we're looking to achieve our goal weight and then live at our goal weight by programming our subconscious mind to automatically do the things that get us and then keep us at our goal weight, which are our habits. And so if you strategically start by looking at your worst eating habit and go to work on transforming that in the most comfortable, effective way for you, where you end up a couple weeks, a couple months from now, is you have a new habit in place that works for you because it was custom made for you. And once that's kind of working on autopilot, then you go to the next habit. Now, most people I see are usually 2 to 3 worst eating habits away from being very close to their goal weight. So while this approach may feel slow because you will potentially not lose as much weight in the first couple of weeks or months, when you start to zoom out and look at the next couple years and decades, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. And again, this is where the strategy piece comes into it. And thinking strategically about your weight loss is something that you probably do not do, because in the diet industry, you're constantly conditioned to think tactically about changing everything all at once and then forcing yourself to do it. So here's an alternative for you, and I hope it resonates and makes sense to you. And if you want to go deeper into this concept, this philosophy, this idea, click the link in my bio or go to Program Yourself Thin and go get the free hypnosis session I give you. It's free. I got a video training for you I made for you. That's free as well. And then I send you things that are free as well to help you master your weight. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Here we are on a Thursday. Hope everyone is having a good week. And if you have any weight loss questions, feel free to ask them. Apple says, what's your background? It's a picture. And what is it? It's some Bible passage. And I did not realize that when I got it, but it turns out that it is something John something or other. I always forget. People ask me that, but I got it because it reminded me of the Bellagio in Las Vegas. They have a ceiling there that's made out of like stained glass, all colorful stained glass, and kind of reminded me of that. So yeah, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I hope everyone's doing well. I have noticed a lot of people in my world, myself included, let's say necessarily struggling, but I don't know what it is. Winter, the world, who knows? But if you are feeling a little off, you're not alone. Let me put it that way. So, what's up, Zoe? How's it going? So he says, not preparing. Sure that I listen to you all the time. It resonates. Well, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Make sure you go and get the hypnosis session and watch the video. That'll resonate even more. Again, I go through the whole system. Here, I'm just kind of touching on things and I'm all over the place. Just for laughs says, I'm desperate about my belly fat. I've been fighting it my whole life. Well, I think the first thing to understand is that I get being desperate. I get it, but you don't want to be desperate, because when you're desperate, it's an unresourceful state. Okay. And you don't have access to all of your intelligence, your wisdom, your awareness, all these other things. So I get if you've been struggling with something your whole life, it does put you in a desperate mode. But that's the first thing we got to kind of fight against. Again, in Program Yourself Thin, so much of it's built around hypnosis. And hypnosis, again, in addition to putting good stuff in your head, thought-wise, is that it calms you down physically, mentally, emotionally. And from that place, you're able to usually think much clearer in a much more logical, rational way, grounded way. So we don't want to be desperate. We don't want to be freaking out. We don't want to be on it. We don't want these peak negative emotions. It's very difficult to thrive and succeed in those states. And it's very difficult not to overeat in those states too, by the way. Zoe says, did you struggle with weight? Yeah, I was 50 pounds heavier 30 years ago. So again, my message isn't really just about the 50-pound weight loss. It's more about that I've maintained that weight loss for 30 years. I had one blip 12 years ago, but I think the big distinction I'm always looking to make with you all and from dieters is that I'm not focused on weight loss. I'm focused on living at your goal weight forever, which includes weight loss, by the way, but it's a bigger goal. And I think a lot of people get in trouble because they just think short term about losing weight, and that sets them up to do unsustainable things. They become unsustainable. They lose the weight, they put it back on, and they blame themselves. I blame the strategy, and I blame your mindset. So yeah, and my whole journey really was about learning from people that lost weight and kept it off. And that was eye-opening for me. And I wouldn't be here at this weight if I had not learned from those people. And so I learned from them. That was 30 years ago. And I've been on this journey for 30 years personally, 20 years professionally. I've been doing this as a weight loss coach / hypnotist. And I'm obsessed with it. And I'm constantly learning from people that have lost weight and kept it off. So I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. And just asked, how's it going, Rachel? Yeah. Oh, what's that? Hypnosis? Where did you say I can find it? Yeah, if you're on Instagram, you can go click whatever. I forget how Instagram's set up, but click the picture of me somewhere. Go to my bio, and there should be a link to go get the hypnosis session. And that's true for anyone on any whatever thing you're watching, because I'm on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So, but if you go to my bio, you should be able to see the link to get that session, and it's free. The session's called The New Thin Me. It's a weight loss kickstart session. So it's kind of a motivation session to get you, hyped up. And if you've never experienced hypnosis, go check it out. And if you have experienced hypnosis and it didn't work for you, check it out still. I am one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet. I will let you know that. It's 25 grand to work with me. So I'm not just up here making things up. I've been testing this and, doing this for a long time. And again, the reason I'm here is this is a mission for me. I'm here to help as many people as possible with their goal weight. So I do get on here every weekday, Monday through Friday around noon Eastern, and, seek to share some alternate point of view about your weight with you, and to help you along, As always says, keep the weight off is my struggle. Yeah, I mean, that's everyone's struggle. And the reason your struggle is you've never learned how to maintain your weight. And if you're a dieter, you've never focused on maintaining your weight. A dieter's focus is exclusively on losing the weight. And they just, well, when I lose the weight, then I'll just figure it out. 95% of dieters, it's estimated, that lose the weight, put it back on. So again, keep maintaining is every dieter's struggle. And I would say it's not because you don't have the willpower. It is because you do not have the mindset or the proper strategies to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life. And I can prove that to you simply with your goal. I can promise you, as long as any of you have ever attempted to be losing weight, never in your lives, unless you know me, never in your life, and I can say this confidently, have you ever thought that your goal is not to lose weight. Your goal is actually to get to your goal weight and then live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on near autopilot. You've never had that goal. You've never said that goal. And that's the primary reason why you've never achieved it. And yeah. And so he says, and seeing myself as a thin person, which I am now. Yeah. Oh, great job. Yeah. I mean, seeing yourself as a thin person is, again, in Program Yourself Thin, we follow the weight mastery pyramid: mindset, lifestyle, eating. And what you're referring to in the program, we call the self-image. And that's part of the mindset piece. And I think it's probably, after motivation, I think it's the most important piece, because we always live up or down to our self-image. And most people trying to lose weight identify they have a self-image of an overweight person, an overeater, overweight, struggling person. And so that dictates so much of your reality, and it really sets you up to be overweight. And so most dieters are trying to fight against that instead of trying to transform it. So a big part of Program Yourself Thin is intentionally designing and crafting the self-image that you want to have. And Program Yourself Thin is really not a weight loss program, to be honest. It's a weight mastery program, but it's even deeper than that. It's a personal development program, because we take the weight loss and wrap it in personal development. And so it's really not a process just about losing weight or just about your weight. It's a program about being the best version of you possible. And the weight's just a piece of that. And I think that that's really important, because, again, another reason why you dieters struggle so hard to keep the weight off is because your weight just flatlines. I mean, eventually you get to your goal weight and that's it. And it's like, what are you looking forward to now? Because guess what? At your goal weight, life still sucks in a lot of ways. I know you don't want to hear that. I know dieters love to believe the bullshit that you're just going to get to your goal weight and like everything's just going to be magically great. It's not. Still relationship issues, health issues, potentially. People still won't like you. People still think you're ugly. I mean, it's just, I know it's not very motivating to say, but it's true. And I take the no bullshit oath here. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. You're surrounded by bullshit when it comes to weight loss. So I'm not going to do that. And so I think that people that just approach their weight loss only fixated on the weight itself, I think are set up to fail right from the beginning. And I think you need to have more motivation than just your weight. And agree or disagree, I'm fine with that. But again, you've got to always look at the results you're getting or not getting as part of that conversation. And it says, is losing weight in your 20s the same as at 56? Losing weight's not the same, but living at your goal weight's the same. So again, yeah, when you're in your 20s, there's a great chance that when you go and cut the calories down, that you'll lose the weight faster. That's not unusual. However, who gives a shit? Because if you just lose the weight faster and then you stop doing what you did and then you put the weight back on. So it really doesn't matter. So in my mind, I'm just fixated on living at your goal weight. And so, yeah, I'm in my 20s and I lose the weight quick. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Because say, oh, now it's slower. It takes me twice as long. I don't care. Because I don't care how long it takes you to lose the weight. I care how long you live at your goal weight. So if it takes you twice as long to lose the weight now that you're in your 50s, I don't give a shit, because that weight loss piece is just a phase. It's a phase that for most people is going to last a few months to potentially a few years most. But again, what I'm fixated on and obsessed with is how do you stay at that goal weight comfortably, enjoyably. I don't care how fast or slow you lose the weight. And I think the more you focus on how fast or slow you lose the weight, I think the harder time you're going to have. That's what I see for most people. So yeah. Casey says RFK. Well, yeah, RFK is going to fix all the food. So get ready, folks. I talk about eating clean all the time. So RFK is going to get in there and get rid of all the chemicals and all the processed food and all that stuff. So pretty exciting. I'll believe that when I see it, but whatever. And even talking about it, I guess, is good. I don't know how much he'll be talking about it once he gets in there, but we'll see. I hope so, because the food in America is awful. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, but yeah, the food in America is pretty bad. It's a very obesogenic environment. That's what they refer to it scientifically. And it's very difficult to be a thin, healthy person in America. And at this moment in time, 75% of adult Americans are overweight or obese. So it's a real challenge. You got a lot. The cards are against you. You know what I mean? The deck's stacked against you to be a thin, healthy person. Because of the environment, the food environment, the actual environment. But the bigger thing is the diet environment. At this point, most of my clients anyways are in their, usually 40s, 50s, 60s. And so they've got decades of thinking like a dieter, and thinking like a dieter is really the kiss of death. It's almost impossible to ever live at your goal weight thinking like a dieter. So yeah, a lot of things need to change. Zoe says, how do you feel about eating what you like mindfully? I think that's bullshit. I think for most people, I think most people with weight loss, they just have no real strategy. And I think mindful eating is just, it's so inadequate in my opinion. I think there's parts of it that make sense, and we utilize some of that in the program. But I think that intuitive eating, mindful eating, I think these are woefully inadequate plans to really master your weight. And I will say this every day, that I don't think you're one thing away from mastering your weight. I don't think if you just cut the carbs out, you'll master your weight. I don't think you count your points, you'll master your weight. I don't think if you intuitive eat, you'll master your weight. I don't think if you mindfully eat, you'll master your weight. I don't think so. I think you can use all components of that. I think they all have some benefits to offer, but I think, ultimately you need a comprehensive, holistic approach to mastering your weight that involves a mindset, lifestyle, and eating. And I think the average person who's been dieting for 30 years and is addicted to processed foods and junk food and bullshit, I think if they try and eat mindfully and intuitively, and that's their whole plan, they're going to find out that it didn't work for them. And unfortunately, they're going to blame themselves. And that's probably the main reason I keep getting on here, is to let you know that stop blaming yourself. You blame yourself because you think you know what to do. And I'm here to tell you, you don't know what to do. You have a vague idea of what to do. And it's so vague, it's as if to say that you don't know how to play the piano, but you say, well, actually, I do know how to play the piano. All you do is hit the right keys in the right order at the right time, and there you go. That's how you play the piano. Simple. And so, yeah, I mean, that is a description of how to play the piano, but that description is miles away from actually being able to play the piano. And that's where you all are with your weight loss, is that you have this vague description. You can say, oh, I need to cut my calories down. I need to change my mindset. I need to clean up my lifestyle. It's so far away from actually turning that into behavior and reality for you, and you don't know how to bridge that gap. And it takes mindset, it takes the proper strategy, lifestyle wise and eating wise, to make that happen. And so this is why I say to you, I would stop blaming yourself if you're struggling with your weight. It's not that you know what to do and you can't get yourself to do it. It's really much more that you don't know what to do. Now I know you say, I know what I do to eat, Jim. I just need to eat less. Yeah. Okay. So you've known that for how long? Is that working? Is that knowledge turning into behavior and results? And if you're like most people, it's probably not. So again, if you care about your weight at all, I would suggest that you begin to approach it as a learning process. You need to learn how to do this. And I think that's a good distinction to make. But a lot of dieters don't believe that. A lot of dieters just think that they need to force themselves to do it. And weight loss becomes just this never ending fight. So, yeah. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Again, there are no dumb questions. I mean, that's not really true. There are dumb questions, but if you don't know they're dumb, then they're not a dumb question, So I don't mind. But anyways. So I think I'll wrap it up. All right. Yeah. So if you ever want to go deeper into this, click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session, go watch the video I made for you, read the emails I send. And yeah, this is a podcast. So if you ever want to get on here and ask me actual questions during the thing, get on here around noon Eastern and I will answer them for you as best I can. And if you miss it while listening to this, it is a podcast. Program Yourself Thin, and you can hear it on any of the podcast platforms. So have a great day and we'll talk soon. Bye.